I'm with Sergio Mendez Centeno, Chief Investment Officer for Afore XXI Banorte, which has built its strategy around three pillars: transforming the customer experience, technological innovation, and redesigning the investment process. Sergio, we've heard from Juan Manuel about the first two pillars. How are you redesigning the investment process?
The way that we're redesigning our investment process is trying to bring to the local markets the international best practices that we have found in administration of pension funds. This means that we are dividing the investment division in three basic silos, which are portfolio management, analyst, and execution and traders.
We spoke last time about creating your benchmark portfolio. How has this approach performed?
The approach has been very, very successful, I would say. It's something that is an ongoing process all the time because, regulation is adapting and the markets are moving, so we have to adapt, even though that at the end, it's the light that guides us through the long term that we are focusing our strategy all the time. So the benchmark came as a result of an econometric process in which what we did, basically, we're trying to approach the most optimal portfolios given the restriction of the regulation and the investment horizon for our clients. At the end, it reflects how we approach investments and how is the way Afore XXI Banorte approaches the balance between returns and the risk, which is at the end what creates the best product abroad.
You've also been expanding your presence in alternative investments.
That is correct. It's an option that we need to use because at the end, part of our fiduciary responsibility is the use of the investment regime fully. And that part of the portfolio, the alternatives portfolio, is something that is an opportunity, not only about the returns, but only about the duration of the portfolio. These kind of strategies are longer duration that we can have in fixed income in different kind of assets, and the returns has proven very, very good. So we have been very active. At the same time in the portfolio, the regulation now started to allow us to invest in international alternatives. So that's something that we have been very, very active, trying to find who to partner with in order to approach the new asset. And at the end, it's something that will be reflected in better returns for our affiliates.
And how else have you been growing and improving your investment process?
That's something that we are constantly improving, let me put it that way. We are increasing our team on the public side of the portfolio, on the equity side. I think it's quite important to have complete analysis and to have the full grip of the strategy that we have, deviating from the index of the Mexican Bolsa and trying to approach the best companies and the best returns. At the same time, we are still incrementing and trying to fully utilize our international exposure. And part of that is not only the using of ETFs, it's also using actively the mandates, the separate managed accounts that we grant to different managers abroad in order to have best of breed for international markets to our affiliates in the local markets. And at the end, what we're trying to achieve is the best returns. So for that and for the best returns, this year we work to obtain the authorization to trade options, which is quite important because again, it's another tool that we have in order to protect our portfolio against the only constant that we have in the markets, volatility.
Sergio, thank you very much.
Gracias, thank you.
Click through to watch the first video from this interview series with Afore XXI Banorte's CEO Juan Manuel Valle Pereña, discussing transforming the customer experience. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.